We've all spotted the leaks over the last few weeks, and here we are. Sonos have just confirmed their brand new soundbar, the Sonos Ray. Meet Sonos' new affordable soundbar launching in June 2022 with a price tag of £279. The Sonos Ray joins the Sonos Beam and the Sonos Arc in Sonos' soundbar lineup, so we now have a choice of 3 soundbars at varying price points. So on paper, as it's only £279, this new little addition could be an attractive option for those looking for a more affordable way into the Sonos ecosystem that will actually do your TV audio as well. Now, it's no surprise that Sonos are entering the more budget-friendly soundbar market because a large majority of soundbar sales are under that £300 mark. Now, of course, for that cheaper price point, we would expect to have to say goodbye to some of the features that we get from its bigger brothers, the Beam and the Arc. But I can't deny that when I saw the spec without Atmos or voice or eARC, etc., I was starting to worry a little bit. But I have decided I'm going to hold off on my judgment for now until I can do a full deep dive on this in our upcoming review, as I do think this will be right for certain customers or certain spaces. Now, speaking of that review, we will also be doing a giveaway in that video for one of you to win a Sonos Ray on launch day. So make sure you subscribe to catch that video when it launches soon. In the meantime, let's see what we know so far. Now, we would love to know your thoughts on this product, so get in the comments and let us know. Starting off with how it's been designed then. So you'll notice that actually it looks fairly similar to the Sonos Beam in terms of the shape and the overall look and feel. There's nothing particularly revolutionary going on here in terms of design, and it retains the modern and sleek finish that we've come to expect from Sonos, and we do know it will be available in a color choice of black and white. The first thing we noticed when looking at this soundbar was that it appears to be quite deep from the photos and actually looks deeper than the Beam. But in fact, the Ray is actually 5mm less deep than the Beam. The width is different at 100mm shorter than the Beam, coming in at 559mm wide. So I'd suggest this will be ideal for 42-inch size TVs and above, which I guess would be perfect for those smaller Sony OLED models like the A90K coming this year. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that the LED light is also positioned on the front of the unit, not at the top. And if we have a quick look on the back of the unit, you've got everything you'd expect like power, Ethernet, but there's no HDMI, just an optical. So yes, that means there's no support for Dolby Atmos, and the maximum that it'll do is Dolby Digital. Now, this is probably going to be one of the main talking points of this product, with lots of us wondering why they haven't added that HDMI connection. Whether that's right or wrong, here's our thoughts on that. So we think that to keep a Sonos TV speaker with the Sonos build quality and ecosystem, and to get it at this price, we've had to lose an HDMI ARC. For us, when you put it in the context of who will be using this, where they will be using it, and the TV that they're connecting to, Atmos might not be at the top of their requirements. For sure, you can get cheaper bars with Atmos, so we're going to have to wait until testing to see whether Sonos is worth the additional cost. Now, as that optical is technically a line-in, you would be able, in theory, to use this as a line-in for your hi-fi. So providing you're able to run an optical connection from your turntable, your CD player, or other hi-fi source, this will be playable through the Sonos Ray, which can then in turn be grouped to other components in your Sonos system. Though it's been possible to do this with the Beam and the Arc for years, the Ray's £279 price tag might make it an attractive line-in option, as this actually places it cheaper than the Sonos Port, which is Sonos's wireless streamer, which comes in at £399. Now, we'll definitely see if that's possible when we revisit the Ray in our in-depth review coming very soon. So what about the internals then? Well, you get a total of 4 Class D digital amplifiers, which are powering 2 center tweeters for a crisp high frequency response, and 2 high efficiency midwoofers for mid-range and bass. Now, these little ports that you see here are Sonos's bass reflex system, which is a patented low velocity port design, which minimizes distortion and rounds out those lower end frequencies. An observation I did have as well was that all of these drivers are front facing. So if you're going to be positioning the soundbar in a recessed wall or cavity, you won't need to worry about missing out on the effects that the Beam and the Arc give you, because they have those angled drivers for a wider soundstage. Now, we do know that you'll be able to expand the system like you can with other Sonos soundbars by adding a pair of surrounds and a sub to increase immersion. Currently, the surrounds would be a great option, but the price of the sub at $749 means we wouldn't really advise that and would recommend just spending more on the soundbar itself. But if the rumours of a Sub Mini ever came true, then that of course would be a fantastic setup. Speaking of rumours, there has been speculation that the Sonos Ray might have the potential to be used as surrounds. Yes, you did hear me right, as surrounds. Now, none of this has been announced at launch, so it might just be a bluff and rumours, or they might add this functionality at a later date via a software update. So I would envisage turning the Ray up vertically, which I'd assume will give you a better sense of height from your surrounds than you'd get from the ones, because it appears that two of the drivers inside of the Ray point sort of outwardly to give a better vertical experience. Now, it would definitely be a great feature if this was made possible. We also know the Ray loses the voice assistant, so you can't control your TV and music with Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant like you can on the Beam and the Arc. But for those of you who may be concerned about privacy or just don't like voice assistants in general, there's no microphones at all built into the Ray, so that might actually be a plus for you. Of course, if you are a fan of voice control, you can connect it up to a separate voice assistant. Now, we do know, however, that you'll still be able to use speech enhancement and night mode that you can use on the other Sonos soundbars, and it won't come with a remote control either, so you can just pair your existing TV remote with it. From our first impressions, we feel this bar has not been designed for someone who has a top-of-the-range OLED TV or a large space. Instead, we feel this will be more suited to those with a small room, such as a bedroom, kitchen, etc., looking to fill your room with music or upgrade your TV audio, and also want a quality audio product at a more budget-friendly price. But of course, this is all something we'll get into in our review. For now, this is an interesting new addition from Sonos. Okay, it doesn't have Atmos, it doesn't have HDMI, voice, etc., but there are people that don't need those things, and for those people, they now have a cheaper way of entering the Sonos ecosystem with a product that meets their needs. I know there will be a lot of you out there who are thinking this definitely isn't right for me, in which case, at least you know that you can rule it out and consider other options. If you're still unsure, we do have a Sonos soundbar comparison coming up, which you might find useful, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. Pre-orders will be coming soon with our usual extended 6-year warranty and 30-day return, so keep your eyes peeled for that too. Guys, let me know about what you think on the new Sonos Ray. Will you be buying it, or have Sonos just totally missed the mark? Let me know. That's all from me. See you very soon.